the last time Smart Omega faced a top Chinese team. It was their quarter-final matchup against Q9 Club back in CDFI 2022.
13 streaks, I mean, enough said, right? This guy was on a roll. Every single time he recovered, he was taking more lives than he was giving away for sure, and that hurt the players of Smart Omega. But what made the players of Q9 so amazing and so threatening in this first hardpoint matchup was their teamwork. What made them so threatening was the timing of their execution, especially for the retake of the hills, where they barely failed. And every time they went back in there, Smart Omega did not dare step into the hill.
Proves, like what you mentioned, they actually lost that against DYG, and so it's really
M freaking VP for sure. These, right? I mean, I was surprised when he grabbed that MVP for hardpoint as well. I mean, how many MVPs do you want, boy? I guess all of them, especially against Smart Omega, because for Q9, it's not just a victory. For Q9, it's making one hell of a big statement
that they definitely have been making the past 2 games a really big one, and now Control is going to be up in the air, where we've already seen this team absolutely blow it up on both the respawn and the non-respawn game modes. It was fairly close in this S&D compared to that hardpoint matchup, but we've seen so many mistakes played by Omega in both of these games that it's
to take on a team that's pretty much
guy again.
It is this guy.
His presence of mind is just absolutely insane, and especially with the Krieg in hand, this is definitely going to be something that you need to look out for.
And oh my god, I mean, thank you very much, AJ, for that first 3 set of this series. And Beef, I'm just so excited. I was on the edge of my seat, especially on that final moment, because I was just surprised on how fast Smart Omega did that. Like, I think it's because of the switch up, because you mentioned about the switcheroo that Q9 has been doing, going in for that defense, and I think that is the same thing.
My face, because this is the matchup that I was waiting to happen, because 73, which is just absolutely big. I just absolutely popped off.
Yeah, I mean, imagine his hold in here on this B1. This is where it all started. He was not taken down in there probably until 12th point, and it's not easy to stand in there in the middle of everyone else and surviving, also making those kills. But Rage right now, especially on that final, like close to the final moment where he was just lining everyone up. Idra started it off, and then Rage just followed through with the same thing. I think just for that few 20 seconds, they were able to take down not a little bit.
But any kind of game mode against Omega, that is definitely. And now we're gonna end things with Control in firing range. But
on the kill, 131.33 on the ADR, and that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was a 2 or a 4 on the streak. But he is getting his 3rd MVP at that moment. Now, this is where Smart Omega really is popping off. And one thing about Q9, they at some point slow down the start of the game, and they start reading off the tactics of Smart Omega. That might have been the chance for Q9 to get back into the game once they caught up with the tactic.
Good to see how well Q9 can actually play, especially with the 2 guys. You're gonna have Control in your matchup for this to happen, for Q9 to win as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's those two, for the first 2 maps that we have already. There's a lot of questions that has been brought in with standoff, even with that loss that they have on slums, and that is one reason why I bring it back to there's first 2 maps, especially that hard point, because of all the those are basic mistakes that they did in those maps, and those hard point were in. It could have been very, very close in terms of points on that standoff. But well, it is what it is. Beef, we can put in a lot of assumptions. That game we're in, it might have been
that information that it is the weakest map of Omega.